Ryan Stone wasn't a man easily shaken. At 34, he was already a millionaire tech CEO, the kind of person people studied in business school and followed on social media. He had built his company from nothing, turned it into an empire, and lived in a penthouse overlooking the city skyline. But one crisp Friday morning, everything stopped when he opened a pale white envelope. It was an invitation. His ex-fiancée, Emily, was getting married. The words danced off the card in gold script. And just beneath her cheerful RSVP note was a line that stabbed deeper than any boardroom betrayal. "Hope you'll come." It would mean a lot. 3 years ago, she had left him. Said he was too cold, too focused on work, too emotionally unavailable. Now she wanted him to watch her marry someone else. That wasn't going to happen, not unless he showed up with someone who'd make her second-guess everything. Ryan made a decision. He wasn't going to that party alone. So he did what any determined man might do in desperation. He asked his assistant to find someone who could play the role of a loving girlfriend. Not just pretty, but real. Someone convincing. Smart. Believable. That's when he met Leah Carter. She wasn't an actress. Not a model. In fact, she wasn't even on the list. She just happened to walk into the casting room to mop the floor. When Ryan saw her, something made him pause. Messy ponytail, rolled-up sleeves, and sharp brown eyes that didn't seem impressed by the high ceilings or him. "You're not auditioning," he said. "No," she replied. "I clean the place." "You don't need a girlfriend. You need therapy." He laughed for the first time that day. By the time she finished joking about his $5,000 haircut and emotionless smile, Ryan made another impulsive decision. "You're hired." Leah blinked. "Wait, what?" 1 week. Pretend to be my girlfriend. We show up to the engagement party, smile, make her jealous, and walk away. She stared at him, arms crossed. "What's in it for me?" $10,000. And dinner at that fancy sushi place downtown. Done. In the days that followed, they rehearsed their backstory. First kiss. Weekend getaways. Pet names. It was supposed to be an act, but things quickly blurred. Ryan discovered Leah was witty, grounded, and completely uninterested in his wealth. She teased him, challenged him, made him laugh, and, most dangerously, made him feel seen. Late one night, while practicing for the event, Leah asked him, "Why do you care so much about what she thinks?" He hesitated. "Because she left before I was ready to become better. I guess I wanted to show her I could have been enough." Leah looked at him differently after that. "Maybe it's time you stop proving things to people who already gave up on you." The night of the engagement party arrived. Leah stepped out in a satin emerald dress that caught the light with every step. Ryan, in a tailored charcoal suit, looked at her like the act was already over, and he didn't want it to end. They walked in arm. The room turned. Cameras clicked. Emily froze. For the next hour, Leah played her role perfectly, smiling, laughing, stealing glances at Ryan like she was in love. But it didn't feel like acting anymore. Until Emily pulled Leah aside. "He's using you, you know," Emily whispered. Leah raised an eyebrow. "You think he picked you because you're special?" "No. You're just a tool to make me jealous. He's never loved anyone but himself." Leah returned to the table shaken. Her smile faltered. Her grip on Ryan's hand loosened. He noticed immediately. "What happened?" "She said this is all fake," Leah murmured. "And maybe she's right." Ryan's chest tightened. "Leah, please." But she stood up. "I can't do this. I thought we were pretending. But I started to forget where the pretending ended." She left. 3 days passed. Ryan didn't go to the office. He canceled meetings. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't think. He thought of her laugh. Her sarcasm. The way she made his sterile life feel like something warm and alive. Then one evening, his phone buzzed. One message. "Meet me at the rooftop." He raced there. Leah stood near the edge, city lights glittering behind her. "I talked to Emily," she said. She admitted she lied. She wanted to ruin this because she saw something between us. Something real. Ryan swallowed hard. Is it real? Leah took a step closer. I didn't plan to feel anything. But I do. He reached for her hand. I don't want perfect. I want honest. I want you. She smiled. Then stopped pretending. And that night, for the first time, they stopped playing roles. They started writing their real story. A week had passed since that rooftop confession. Ryan and Leah hadn't officially defined what they were. There was no contract anymore. No roles. But the feelings between them had become undeniably real. Ryan began waking up with a smile on his face, a strange feeling for a man who used to fall asleep surrounded by silence and spreadsheets. Leah had moved in temporarily, not because she needed to, but because neither of them wanted to say goodbye after dinner. She filled the apartment with small things. Her mismatched coffee mugs. A worn book of poetry by her bedside. A playlist of sad songs she claimed were just moody, not emotional, though Ryan caught her crying once during one of them. It was peaceful. Until one evening, she asked a question that made Ryan's stomach drop. What happens when people find out? Ryan looked up from his laptop. Find out what? That we started as fake. That it was a performance. Will they ever believe we're real now? He sat in silence. His empire was built on image. His company's investors, shareholders, press, everyone followed his moves. A scandal, or even a whisper of manipulation, could send things crashing. Do you think we're real? He asked finally. Leah looked at him with gentle hurt. I know what I feel. But if you're still treating this like something you have to protect or explain, maybe we're not the same kind of real. Later that night, she slept facing the window. Ryan stayed awake, staring at the ceiling. He had never felt this vulnerable. He could build companies, write speeches, lead negotiations with billionaires. But here was a woman who saw straight through him, and he didn't know how to hold on without breaking something. He knew he had to choose, protect the image, or risk it all for love. Broken Heart Part 3, The Truth That Broke Him, and Healed Her. Ryan decided to host a charity gala. A big one. Cameras, press, sponsors, the works. But this time, it wasn't to show off wealth. It was to show the truth. As Leah watched from the edge of the ballroom, Ryan took the stage and did the unthinkable. He told the crowd everything. I brought someone with me tonight who changed my life. Not because she fit the part, but because she challenged the script. Gasps rippled. She agreed to pose as my girlfriend to help me deal with someone from my past. But somewhere between the roles and rehearsals, I fell in love. Not with an actress. Not with a character. But with the most honest woman I've ever known. Cameras flashed. Journalists whispered. Leah stood frozen. Ryan scanned the room until he found her. Leah. I don't care what the world thinks anymore. I care about what I lost when I let fear control me. I love you. And I'll say it again if you need me to, every day, in front of anyone. For a long moment, Leah didn't move. Then she walked toward him. Slowly. Deliberately. When she reached him, she didn't say a word. She kissed him, soft, certain, true. And in that one moment, the performance ended, and the real story began. The final closing message to viewers. In a world built on appearances, the bravest thing we can do is be real. Love doesn't come with perfect timing. It doesn't wait until your past is neat, or your future is certain. Sometimes, it begins in pretense, and ends in truth. Because love isn't about convincing others. It's about finally convincing yourself that you're worthy of being seen, and staying anyway.